In today's video, I will be ranking every single Minecraft update from 1.0 to 1.16 and on a scale to worst to best. So let's get right into this video. So we're going to move all of the pre-classics, in-devs, and alpha and betas down here because I am not going to be judging these because these were when Minecraft first came out. So let's get into the first one. So first off, we got 1.1. Now 1.1 was the second update of Minecraft, and it really didn't add much, but it did add some stuff that we do use today, like snapshots, example, and just some little features like apples and just that kind of stuff. That's just really small. But they also added something that was pretty big, which was mob spawn eggs, which was pretty cool. And that's really it for 1.1. So with all that said, I am probably gonna give it a C tier because it didn't really add much to the update and it was kind of just like a little filler update. So let's get into the next update. Now the next update that we're going to be discussing is 1.2. Like 1.1, this update really seemed to be a little rushed to where they wanted to get it out and done with, but they did also add some pretty cool things that we do use nowadays, like iron columns and jungle biomes, but that's really it for the update and it could have been better. And they didn't really add much like they did in 1.1, so I'm gonna probably give this one an E tier because it's not really the best like up here and it's not really the worst down here. It's kind of like a filler update that they wanted to do. But I forgot one thing, that we are forgetting Minecraft 1.0. Now 1.0 is the update that really created Minecraft in general. It was the update when Minecraft released and they added a way to actually beat the game, which, aka the Ender Dragon. And since they added the Ender Dragon, that'd mean they would need fortresses and endermen and enchanting and brewing, which you don't need enchanting and brewing, but those are just two things that are pretty useful nowadays that most people use, and they also added tons of new stuff. Which Minecraft 1.0 was really good, as I just stated in the last clip, so I'm probably gonna give it a B tier because it's not all the way up there, but it really structured Minecraft in general and what it is today. Wait, you know what? I'm gonna actually put it up as a A tier because actually that's what it really deserves. So let's get into the next one. Now 1.3 was a lot better than 1.1 and 1.2. It added village trading, jungle temples, desert temples, or whatever they're called. Pretty sure people call them desert pyramids, but I don't know. But they also added a ton of stuff in this update, which this update was probably better than the updates mentioned before. Further ado, Minecraft 1.3 was relatively pretty good of all the content it added. It added a lot, so I think I'm gonna give this a good C tier. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it really wasn't something that would be like monumental to Minecraft. So let's get straight into the next update. Now 1.4 was a pretty interesting update, which it was mentioned as a super spooky update, which in case added wither skeletons, beacons, and if you didn't already guess it, the wither in general. Yeah, they added the wither in this update, which is another pretty interesting thing they added, and that's really it for the update. I think I'm gonna give 1.4 another solid C tier. It added a lot, but it will actually, no, let's give it a good B tier. I think it deserves a good B tier because of, you know, a lot of the stuff we wouldn't have right now if this update didn't come out. So I would be certain this is a solid B. One is 1.5, and holy moly, wasn't there a lot added. There was a ton added, so I'm gonna get right into all the stuff. Now 1.5 added a lot, and it was mostly focused on a redstone update, which added repeaters, redstone blocks, lamps, and all that stuff. It really just changed redstone for everybody, and it was a pretty cool update with tons of redstone stuff, and this is what really was able to get people to do more redstone. If you guys really like redstone and stuff, you would probably put this a lot higher, but I'm probably gonna give this a solid B tier, cause this update really changed redstone forever, and really just, I don't know, it didn't really add like a bunch of stuff that I would really use all the time, but to most people this changed like redstone for them. So let's get into the next one. The very next one is 1.6. Now 1.6 wasn't really a humongous update, but this was the peak for Minecraft, and also 1.5 was when Minecraft really started booming, and 1.4 was when it kinda started getting popular, but it really didn't add much, as it only had like horses, carpets, and some other stuff, but all in all was really just a huge update for the community, and also popularity wise, because this update came out like right around when summer came around, so that's really it for this update. Now in my opinion, I wouldn't really rank this one up high that much, because there wasn't that much content added, and personally I don't think it was like a humongous update, so I'm gonna probably put this at a solid D tier. Now 1.7. 1.7 would be, it wasn't really a humongous update, it only added a few things, but the thing why people liked this update was so much was because of the mods that came out. Tons of mods came out during this, and a lot of people really enjoyed them, so that's why people rated 1.7 super high. And it was about a year or so when it was out, so yeah, pretty good update in general for mods. Just said 1.7 wasn't really that content filled, but for most people it was really fun with all the mods that came out, so I'm gonna give this a solid C tier. Now let's get right into the next tier. Now we're getting into 1.8, which honestly was kind of a disappointment. Let me explain. Now 1.8 wasn't really a good update. All it really added was some new blocks like armor stands and banners, and the andesite, coarse dirt, and andesite, which legitimately nobody uses unless they're trying to make something match. But people do like this update because it was the last update before the new combat physics, which I will talk about next. But that's really it for 1.8. With all that said, I would have to give Minecraft 1.8 an E tier, because it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't good, but it was relatively not the best update that they could have made, and they probably could have made it a lot better. Now we're getting into 1.9. This is a very controversial update between if it was actually a good update or if it was complete garbage. Now there's been a lot of controversy between 1.9 if it was a good or bad update, but honestly, I thought it was a decent update because it added elytras, end cities, and shulkers, which is really cool, but most people don't like it because of the new combat physics, which makes you take a little break before you hit, and it was kinda dumb. That said, I still play on Bedrock, as many of you may know, and I don't have to deal with this, like the combat system, like the new one, so I'm pretty lucky for that. And honestly, the elytras end city stuff, that's really cool, so I'm gonna place this at a good C tier. Now I know a lot of you may disagree and need me to put it like a D or E, but it hasn't really affected me that much, so that's what I give it. 1.10. 1.10, honestly, in my opinion, was probably one of the worst updates, and it really didn't do anything to the game that really helped it when it was dying. Now 1.10 was kind of a disappointment as well with the community, because all it really added was polar bears and just some random stuff. Like, they didn't really advertise much, and their main attraction was polar bears. Well, they added some little stuff, but still, the little stuff kind of sucked. So, let's rank this. Same with 1.11. 1.11 wasn't really that good. And it wasn't super bad, but it just wasn't that good. So, I'm going to probably have to put 1.11 at E and actually switch 1.10 to F, because this really wasn't the best. Now, the reason why I give 1.11 such a low rating is because the update also didn't add much, and they didn't realize that their game is dying, and this is really the reason why. It's just boring, bad updates. Really all they added was llamas, shulkers, and woodland mansions, and that was really it. And it wasn't really the best thing ever, so that's why I had to give it. And yet again, we're reviewing another, well, you know, like, not that supported update. Let me explain of what was wrong with this update. Now, 1.12, aka World of Color update, was just really bad, because really all they added was just colorful blocks, and the main attraction to the update was concrete. That was the main thing they advertised and the main thing in the update, and it just wasn't good for their dying game. So I'm gonna rate it really quick. I think I'm gonna have to give this one a solid E tier, because this one was kind of poopy, and yeah, they didn't really add much like new content that a lot of people would use. So let's get into the next one. 1.13. Woo! We're getting right into these amazing just updates. This one revived Minecraft. Now 1.13. Holy moly, probably in my opinion one of the best Minecraft updates ever. Mojang finally realized their game was dying and losing popularity, so they finally released an amazing update. They revamped the oceans, added drowns, dolphins, fish, treasure maps, all this stuff that did really good and started reviving the game in a way. Now, with all that said, since it did basically kind of revive Minecraft in a way, I would have to give it an A tier, because it really started to get Minecraft to level up again, and that's pretty cool. Now 1.14. 1.14 is when Minecraft started blowing up again. Now 1.14 remade villages. They added jobs, new houses, pillagers, and raids, and ravengers. Just all this stuff started actually reviving this game, and this is when PewDiePie started his new Minecraft series, which even further grew Minecraft in general. So this was an amazing update. Honestly, I would have to give this a best tier, because of just how amazing it was, and just how much it revived the game. So let's get into the very next one, shall we? 1.15. Now, a lot of people may think 1.15 was kind of dumb, because it only added bees and honey blocks and honey bottles, which it isn't that much, but it fixed a lot of bugs, actually, that if they didn't fix them, Minecraft would be a lot laggier nowadays. So I'm going to give this a solid B tier. 1.16. Oh my god. I would have to say this is the best Minecraft update ever. Let me explain. Minecraft 1.16, oh my god, completely revamped the nether, added new nether biomes, piglins, piglin bartering, bastions, and all this, all in all, just crazy stuff that really just grew Minecraft more and more and added more and more stuff. And this is why this update was probably the best. But with all that said, I'm going to give this a best tier. Now that is it for today's video, guys, and this is my Minecraft update tier list. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to consider subscribing down below. These videos take a whole lot of time to make, and it'd make my day. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.